TvP, one of the more interesting matchups for sure in all of StarCraft, and you get a full best of 7 of it. How lucky are you?
Very lucky. Everyone's very lucky to be watching this. So lucky, in fact, that you should let your friends know. But here we are. As you said, best of 7, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It's Cyber Forest, and it's KeeN.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand, it is the Red Pro player, Creator. Just finished up a pretty intense best of 5 with Scarlet. Hope he's ready to go.
Okay, prediction time. Who do you think's taking it?
I gotta think about this.
Okay, I'll go first. I want to say, after that last series, I'm on the creator wagon. So I'm saying 4-2 Creator.
Wow, 4-2 Creator. All right. In that case, I will go a 4-1 Creator.
Oh, a little more bold.
I'm extra on the train.
Well, I guess you predicted him to win that first series, and you were right, so... I think if I'm Creator right now, you probably want to be busting out like some nice timing attacks. Like, I don't know if you watched KeeN play versus Haas, but KeeN played very standard. He opened up pretty standard all of his games, no cheese or anything like that. So
True.
If you're Creator, like some nice timing attacks or something, or just really playing a methodical scouting game and just intercepting whatever KeeN does decide to go for, I think is definitely the way to go about it as the Protoss. Probe hiding out for Creator, but KeeN, oh, he's got his Reaper. Oh, look at that. That Probe, very, very lucky. KeeN's like, I'm going to look for that, but no. Creator got it timed out pretty well. However, the Reaper's still hanging around for KeeN, so not going to be able to kill that.
Yeah, decided to pack his little lucky rabbit's foot earlier today.
Marines on the way, Factory on the way. I'm excited to see how KeeN's going to play this Terran versus Protoss series. I think it's going to be a great one between these two players. For now, it's just a Robo opening from Creator, which is an interesting choice. Personally, I think that the best build, as far as if you want to open up macro as a Protoss right now, is probably the open up with, say, the Blink Stalkers, get up your third base, go for the, like, I think it was like a 6 or 8 Stalker, just sort of poke on the Terran, which sometimes gets a lot of damage done, and then transition into Colossus. Some Protoss have been looking very strong with that. So I'd be a big fan to see Creator execute a build like that, of course. He's the pro player, and I'm not, so I'm just sitting back and excited to see what he's going to bust out.
Observer scouting out. You always want to know what the sneaky Terran is up to. Observer is the best way to do it.
Oh, Reaper could be in trouble, but no, gets out of there. Always nice to have that in your back pocket as a Terran, just for that sort of extra scout that you can just go for at any time if you're unsure of what your opponent's going for. For now, as far as the build goes, it looks like KeeN building Medivac, getting some tanks and Marines up, so could be going for a bit of a push, or maybe just like a Marine drop, we'll see. It's tough to say exactly how he's going to approach this, but he's bringing a few SCVs, so he's definitely going to be pushing.
Yeah, it's not all in, but it's just there for the repairs on the tank, which can be pretty handy.
And something very important to note is that KeeN actually sniped off the Observer for Creator. He opened up with a Robo first to get a very quick Observer across the map, and now he's completely unaware that this attack is coming. He might have just scouted it with his probe. He's seen the Medivac, he's warping in Stalkers, but there's going to be tanks and bunkers on his doorstep right now. Creator could be in a lot of trouble. He's actually going to shut down that bunker, which is a nice start. He's picking that off quickly, but he loses his warp because of, oh, that is huge.
Ah, that hurts immensely there. Trying to throw up another bunker, that one gets canceled too.
Yeah.
And recognizing he's in trouble here, Creator is not over-engaging.
Yeah, Creator is in a lot of trouble right now, just not prepared for this attack. He's got a few Stalkers which are misrallied. He needs to get them out of the tank fire. Actually loses one of them. The other's pretty much dead. And I think KeeN just killed Creator and just took the first map because this is looking so unstoppable right now. Just blink Stalkers. Oh. Creator blinks forward, giving it his all. But no, it's over. KeeN, first map.
KeeN ate his Wheaties this morning. He is feeling strong. And yeah, like you said, picking off that Observer was the key to that whole victory. Where unfortunately Creator was playing in the dark, had no idea what was coming until it was too late. And then Tank Marine pretty good against pretty much just Stalker without Blink. Blink finished up there in the last couple of moments for that engagement, which is why he's able to blink on top of those tanks at the end. But too many Marines, too much tank fire. The repair on the tanks was fantastic too.
Yeah, he was already dead by the time that Blink had finished up.
Yeah. So my prediction is not looking very good. I cannot allow KeeN to win any more games for that 4-1 result to happen. So
4-0 Creator incoming, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, but how long do you think KeeN was planning that build?
How long was he planning it?
Yeah, that
the
entire
whole time?
series. He's like, okay, I'll just do this.
Yeah, for sure. This is pretty strong. We'll see if Creator can hold it. I don't think he can, and he was right.
Okay, and away we go. Looks like everyone is ready.
Yep, Acropolis. Have we cast a game on this map yet? I don't think we have.
Look. Where are the pictures? No, I don't think we have. No, we haven't. I played a game on this today. It was it's a fun map. That's for sure. Seems like one of the better new maps, in my opinion. Because two of the newer maps honestly seem like a bit of a write-off because of their gimmicks.
Ouch. Okay.
Anyway, we'll maybe get more into that in just a second here because we'll probably see one of those maps. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Creator for Team Jin Air.
And in the bottom right, it is KeeN.
Protoss already figuring out these maps pretty quickly, throwing up a pylon there. You might be like, why the pylon next to the random line? That's because that's going to block the Reaper from jumping up.
Oh, so we have cast a game on this map. It was just a while ago.
We did. Oh, yeah, it was right at the start. KeeN versus Haas, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was the very first match because we were going on about the
the
nice
about
little restaurant. Cafe. It's funny how this guy owns two restaurants. Both of them identical. Just on the other side of the map. Pro picking a fight with some SCVs. Pulling up that production tab, we've got ourselves just a standard Terran opening, having to deal with that light probe harass from Creator. Very, very standard stuff. And then just expand build coming out of the Protoss player. And Stargate.
There we go. There's your opening building. Going to be a Stargate here.
Marine production on the way for KeeN. Factory, starport out. I mean, he could always go for another tank push or some variation of it. He's got his bunker up right next to his command center. That's a bit of an interesting thing to see from Terrans, just how they do that. In the past, Terrans might have made their bunkers a little bit further out, but adjusting to that because Protoss have been sort of running around their command centers with adepts and whatnot, so putting it close is adjustment there, which is very cool to see. Depth scouting out for Creator. Probably not going to get on in though. Just basically confirm everything is how it should be.
Yeah, fantastic lift there. Every Terran has that down to a science, it feels like. Ready for another one? There it is.
Oh, look at this. Oh, this is a quick move from KeeN. Oh.
Unloads from the bunker. Nicely done. Good heads-up awareness from KeeN there for sure.
Yeah, nice move there, Creator. Thinking his adept just could run out if it got into trouble, but wasn't paying attention for a second there. And that hurt him.
Yeah, he's definitely going Widowmine drop. KeeN is working on those Widowmines at all times.
Comes on in though. Picks off a mule at half of his timer there. Oh, might actually be able to engage all these Marines. Picks off 2 SCVs, picks off a Marine or 2, so a nice move there. But as you said, Widowmine drop out on the map now. And there's not a lot to stop this from Creator, as he's just got 2 Adepts, 2 Oracles. However, he did have his 3rd base up, which is actually giving him a heads up for this drop, so KeeN's just got to go for it. And Creator definitely is going to see this coming. The mines are on the loading. Of course, KeeN just doing the old reburrow and unburrow trick. Got to be careful of your Creator. Good micro there, I guess, though, for Creator, saving that. I feel as if KeeN probably could have saved those 2 Widow Mines, realizing that it was just some Adepts there and lifted them out. Catches the Oracle, though. Nicely done.
Nice Widowmine hit for sure.
3rd base is on the way as well.
See some fellow Ice and Snow Tile fans in chat. Yes, I hear you guys. I wish there were more of those too.
Ah, the design on these maps?
Yeah, this is not Ice or Frost, unfortunately.
No,
this is
I was about to say, this looks like sand.
I know, somebody said they wish there were more of them, like Frost or... I agree. I like those maps. They just have a certain ambiance that the other maps sometimes don't. Adepts, and there's your lift again. See what I'm talking about?
Yep.
KeeN probably practices that 4 hours a day. He's like, all right, bring in your Adepts. So when they get there, I'll lift at the last second. Last second, lift. Last second, lift. Just got to give the Adepts that little bit of hope that they can get through.
I feel like we should be surprised by this, but not really, because it's pretty common these days. Terran going for mech.
Yeah, Maru was like, hey guys, guess what I can do? And all the other Terrans said, really?
All the other Terrans into going mech.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, I'm going to do it. That means that you guys have to try it too.
It does. If you want to be like me, you got to do what I do. And everyone's like, you correct.
Yeah, Terrans seem to be a lot more open these days to how they're approaching most matchups. They're like, yeah, we can take it a little bit later. We can play a little bit more scrappy. Everything doesn't just have to be that precise, like 3cc bio play or whatever. That seemed to be, Terrans seem to think was the only option. They're sort of thriving on the chaos that's created these days. We're currently seeing tanks on the production for KeeN, and then making Hellions. He's got his 3rd CC up, but this is something that's really interesting. It makes me wonder if KeeN is going to be planning on maybe going for something just like a big tank Hellbat push, because this is a style of mech that has worked versus Protoss for a long time, as it can hit sort of an odd timing that the Protoss isn't ready for.
Stasis wards coming up in pretty decent places there too. KeeN looks like he's just trying to establish.
Oh gosh. Ooh, a nice find there.
Is it enough though to make Creator go for it is the question. I don't think so.
He definitely can go for it. Does he realize that this is like full on mech? Unless he clicked on that factory, no. But he's got Blink Stalkers, and this could honestly just kill KeeN here. Because if he just goes around the 3rd base, yeah, this is big trouble. KeeN is in trouble.
The Oracle's getting shots off on the supply depots for some reason. There we go. Better units, Hellions and whatnot.
Auto turrets getting dropped by the Raven.
Oracles do get taken out. It's kind of a big deal, but Stalkers are still here.
This
Nice
is
job
not
taking
good.
down that tank lab. And the mobility just definitely belongs to these Stalkers. The tanks are trying to get into position.
Oh, a recall already
soon.
for Creator. I feel like that was a pretty quick recall, but just making the choice to get out of there. And in the end, he does pick off a few units, lost both of his Oracles, so that was questionable, I guess, but he does see that KeeN has gone up to a 4th base, which is a very important tell for the Protoss player. Probably says that you might just be able to sit back and invest in a lot of tech or your economy greatly, as opposed to having to worry about one of those tank pushes. Of course, KeeN could still possibly push out, but he doesn't seem to be planning it, as he's investing in Magfield Accelerator, which probably says a fair few Cyclones, and that the tanks and Hellions that he has are really just for that initial safety. Oh, this command center getting worked on by these stalkers. If they got that, that would be huge, but I don't believe they will. Cool tank positioning behind these 2 supply depots. Looks like something out of a campaign mission.
There is a poor SCV who's stuck in there, though.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Just a big contain from Creator, but he may be trying to crack KeeN right now as he's going... This is how Protoss do like to deal with mech, as opposed to taking the game longer. Zealots, Immortals, and Archons can sometimes break through Terrans in this meching situation. It all depends about how the Terran's set up right now. KeeN's got himself a bit of a wall, supply depots, which will really help because the tanks are so important, but Creator is going for it right now. 2 Warp Prisms filled with Immortals. But they're not unloading just yet. They're a little bit late to it, but oh, this is so much Protoss right now. KeeN is just getting surrounded and swamped. He wasn't really pulled together. SCVs have been brought into this. The Cyclones are here. Maybe he can hold on. This is a lot of Protoss, though.
Yes, sir, it is. Archons attacking on in. Stalkers fighting here, too. Huge warping of several Stalkers, blinking forward instantly. That's your good game.
GG.
Creator ties it up 1-0. GG.
Yeah. KeeN just trying to mech, but left himself open. You've got to be very safe as a meching Terran versus those kind of attacks, because Protoss will do that to you. Do that to you a lot if you're a meching Terran. You have to expect something like that, and KeeN just wasn't ready for it. Maybe a little bit too greedy or something.
Yeah, the beautiful multi-pronged attack there, too, from Creator, which is fantastic. There was nowhere to go.
Oh, absolutely.
He couldn't kite with the Cyclones at all because there were Stalkers waiting for you back there, too.
Yeah.
Just beautiful response there. The Creator says, I know you guys want to go mech a little bit these days, but I will shut you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like KeeN should have been a little bit more prepared for something like that. If you play a bit of mech as a Terran, like, Protoss go for those attacks a lot. I guess maybe he just wasn't quite in position for that. Maybe expecting, like, Warp Prism harassment or something, and... Oh well, into the next game.
On to the next, indeed.
That's Creator taking his first map. Maybe the start of a 4-0 for your prediction.
Well, 4-1 anyway.
Yeah.
Did I say 4-0?
You said 4-1, but 4 in a row, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it'd have to be a 4 in a row at this point. Yeah, exactly. For sure. All right, let's see if these players are ready to go. A new Repugnancy.
Away we go.
YJ Wolf says Blink Stalker is the counter for mech. Yeah. At least in the early stages, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Not so much in the late game. But in timing attacks like that, it is definitely fine. KeeN was set up maybe a little bit better, or maybe invested in some more tanks. Anyway, we could talk about that a bit more in a second here. Spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map, it's KeeN.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, the red Protoss player, Creator.
Probe moving out for Creator already. So, I'm actually just going to double check, but I think both these guys have won one of these tournaments before. KeeN has indeed. KeeN has actually won 2 Afreeca Worlds, whereas Creator has won 1. Just Just a bit of a cool fact there. But as far as that last game goes, just to go on about that a bit more, thinking about it now, KeeN did cut siege tank production and then started to invest in cyclones, which definitely are not an anti-zealot, anti-stalker all-in unit. They're more for that sort of mech trading stage. So KeeN, maybe if he had, say, made another round of siege tanks, made another round of hellbats, I liked how he had invested in widow mines, but thinking about that, it definitely is because he invested in the cyclones, why he was vulnerable to an attack like that. And maybe he needed to get more established before that, because he was going for a 4th base. If Creator didn't have his Stalkers parked there, KeeN probably would have spread himself out even more. Which,
yeah, for sure.
As a Terran, you gotta be safe. Anyway, that style's still being explored more by pros. Maybe KeeN will bring it out again. I'm not too sure that he will, though.
Yeah, it's hard to have the confidence to do that when it just gets absolutely smacked down the first time you try it, but I don't know. Maybe he learned something from it. Maybe he's like, ah, yes, I forgot this one thing, and now we'll be safe with it. Thank you for showing me that. But yeah, so far no real aggression from either of these players. Just going to show an adept up. Oh, concussive shell marauder opening. Okay.
I like this.
Okay, I'm on board. This is scary stuff for Protoss for sure.
2 racks opening from KeeN. Definitely not the norm, but can be a very, very strong build to catch a Protoss off guard. Now the 2 Marauders, I think they're going to be moving out, maybe to hopefully catch an Adept or something. Stim on the way right after this, so yeah, just an... Or, wait, 2 Marauders concussive shell into factory, so I guess he's just going to go for like a quick bio play after this. So a very cool build from KeeN, definitely not the norm. Does end up catching this Adept out on the map. That is a kill there, nicely done.
Beautiful pickup there, fantastic job. That Adept dying is a problem.
Yeah, it is. No scout off to know that it is the quick bio follow-up. Creator maybe can assume that that's usually the norm because you got a tech lab on the barracks. But he's committing into Phoenix, which versus a Terran who's powering up to stimmed Marines with +1, this could just lead into KeeN maybe just going for like a mass bio push, whereas Creator has invested in something that is not good versus mass bio. A turret on the way for KeeN. I love this. Sometimes players will skip this when they see that it's just Phoenix. So I really like that choice. Oh, a nice find though with the Phoenix.
Pull into the turret area. There you go.
Whittling down the Marine count a bit. Spotting that it is Stim on the way already.
Phoenix trying to find some damage here and there. Really hard to do with a number of filter listing. Robotics Bay about to finish warping in here for Creator. The amount of Marines that we're seeing here. Well, let's see what in fact it's going to be as the Bay warps in. And there it is. Indeed, your Colossus has begun production here. Extended thermal lance would be fantastic, but not popping out quite yet. It doesn't quite have the gas for it. It's a very expensive upgrade for sure.
Yeah, definitely not. And this is concerning for Creator. 20 seconds till that Colossus is done. And in comes the bio.
Yep, Observer sees it. Oh,
almost a 2 for 1. Not quite, though.
Nice dodge on the second one there. Shield battery is going to have to help here. Colossus is being chrono boost. And third base, nope, that's not going to happen with those Terran forces out there, that's for sure. Colossus done. As KeeN is a little bit patient moving on in here. That is two, no way.
Yeah, very mature decision from KeeN. As a Terran, when you get quick stim, there's nothing more tempting than just to try and stim and run on in versus the Protoss, but KeeN realizing that he wouldn't be able to break the Protoss player there because Creator did stay on 2 bases for a long time. He didn't have a bunch of great gateway units, but he had enough. A few Zealots with a shield battery, some sentries and stalkers with the 1 Colossus is enough to stop stimmed bio. And so KeeN just goes for a 3rd command center on location, which is actually going to be ahead of the Protoss's expansion. So just saying, okay, that's something that I can have going for me. And now he's going for a double Marauder, double Widowmine drop.
Protoss army is over in this area.
Oh, these two players could be about to butt heads right now.
Wow, did he just... Wow, he just turned around for no reason.
The Phoenix. Oh, man.
Okay. Does Creator know this stuff is here? Well, there's Widowmine 1 and 2 sacrificing a couple probes.
Oh, look
Shut
at this.
that down.
KeeN's going into the main base, though, and I think Creator's probably expecting KeeN to be somewhere else. Yeah, look at this. He's scouting out with a Zealot to the north because he's pretty sure that he already cleared out the right side.
Oh, Phoenix.
KeeN.
Phoenix.
Oh, not quite.
Oh, did he see him? He sees him now, but it might be too late to get in there and shut it down. Big warping of Zealots trying to shut this thing down here. Phoenix, get the heck on out of there. The concussive shell is so good, but the Colossus is here now.
Oh, maybe KeeN can pounce on that Colossus. It is kind of exposed. It's important to note he is working away on the Phoenix because he knows that if they're there, he won't be able to escape without getting punished. So,
and he's getting punished.
Yes, he is. That one full medivac goes down, but then KeeN moves on in towards the 3rd base. A Colossus out on the map exposed, retreats to the shield battery to keep itself alive, though good reaction from Creator.
Nicely done. That was pretty clutch on his part, getting the warp-ins there, having the shield battery ready to go, and every medevac that came attack got shut down.
Yeah. It's easy to fall apart as a Protoss in that situation, but nicely done by Creator. Something that's very cool to note right now is the fact that KeeN is going into 4 Vikings at a time, but Creator has already swapped into Disruptors, saying, right, you're a Terran, you're going to try and counter my Colossus with Vikings. I'm just going to be one step ahead, invest in some of these Disruptors, which there's no real hard counter to. Liberators can zone them out, but the only real counter to Disruptors is just to micro around them.
Indeed. And honestly, Terran knows how to split. They've known how to split since mainlings were a thing, 9 years ago now. So honestly, I think Disruptor not as good against Terran as Colossus is, but it's just a question of preferences.
I think Disruptors by themselves aren't too good versus Terran if you go just Disruptors, because the Terran will just make sure they don't leave themselves vulnerable. But when there's, say, a few Colossus and a few Disruptors, I think they just go so well together because the Terran needs to commit onto the Colossus. You can't sort of just passively trade, like go in, go out, go in, go out, because you will take a bad trade as the Terran. And then with the Disruptors in there, which can get the big hits, it just really punishes the Terran. And right now we see KeeN investing in Vikings and Ghosts, but neither of those are actually a counter to the Disruptors, which will still have the potential to get their big hits off.
So it's going to come down to that. Templar Archives coming in here. Got to get that Storm against this bio play for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we should be seeing some Liberators start for KeeN pretty soon here. He's getting up to a 4th base. He did have a very strong economy compared to Creator as his 3rd base was actually before. So that's something that's important to keep in mind. And that probably is why the supply is actually ahead for KeeN right now. But look at that. A nice move. Good blink there from Creator.
Nova catches him. Hey, damage is damage.
It definitely is.
Take what you can get with those Disruptor shots for sure. KeeN attacking on in here, and he looks like he's committing to this, LaughNgamez.
He is, yeah. He says that most of the Disruptors are out of position. Gotta be so careful. Good focus fire down, though. Shuts down that Disruptor, and suddenly KeeN is just running right on in here. Focuses down that one Robo, making sure no more Disruptors are going to pop out and surprise him. Colossus are just getting shredded by the Vikings. And Charge is just finishing up for Creator. He recalls everything here, but out goes KeeN. Nicely done. Ooh, loses a full medivac, but still, nicely done by KeeN there.
Yeah, nice evacuation, not losing hardly anything on that evacuation, so well played for sure. Taking on a robotics facility was a big deal. Overall here, though... Yeah, overall here, resources lost fairly even. 6,300 for the Protoss and 5,300 for the Terran.
Yeah, so, as you said, things are still pretty even. I mean, KeeN did get in there. It looked like a big scary move. He sniped off a Robo, though. Picked off a Colossus. Those really were the notable pickoffs that he got. Nothing really else. I think the main thing that he has going for him right now, though, is the fact that he's making 4 Liberators at a time. That is a very serious threat to a Protoss. The Vikings, they have dealt with the Colossus. It's not really that situation anymore, as KeeN's just got enough of them to cover that. But the Liberators will really bring something to his army with being able to zone out those Disruptors.
Army supply definitely favoring the Terran player right
Wow.
now. We're fairly even.
Yeah, KeeN, his economy has just been very good just off the back of the start of this game, I feel. And now he's moving in. Lots of Liberators are set up. A Disruptor comes from behind, gets a pretty decent connection there, but still very nice for KeeN. He's zoned out the Protoss. If the Protoss player wants to engage, they have to be very decisive about it when attacking into Liberators. The Vikings going to shut down that last Colossus. Disruption Nova gets a pretty huge hit, though.
Yeah, that was a great one. Really focused more on the Colossus than anything else. Another does explode there. Disruptor taking some shots, but is still alive right now. Vikings landing, doing that bonus damage versus mechanical against these Stalkers. I don't know if there's enough to hold here, LaughNgamez. The
Yeah,
Liberators
Panic Novas go out there. GG.
Bam.
2-1 lead.
Yes, looking good here. My prediction is toast, but that's okay. KeeN is looking fantastic in this matchup. Terran fans rejoice.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just the fact that Creator's third was so delayed compared to that of KeeN's. Like, that was just the fact that KeeN had a lot of stuff there. And then was able to afford to produce so many Liberators off the back of that.
Yeah, those Vikings putting in work too, picking off the Colossus easily and then landing and doing bonus damage versus those Stalkers. That was just brutal. Brutal combination. Well done, using those Vikings to the best of their potential. This series is far from over, so if you're a Creator fan, don't despair. Don't despair that your player is down 2-1. It's a 7-game series. There are plenty of games where he can prove that he wants to be the winner here of Afreeca World. We're moving on into Thunderbird.
Yeah, pretty good map for Creator, I feel. Let me just double check that. Must have been his pick. Yes, it definitely was.
Yeah, just being able to get up those 3 bases fairly safely is kind of incredible.
Yeah, and it's such a big map, and the third is very easy to defend so far. I mean, it could maybe be weak to tank pushes and things. That's the only thing I can think about. Tanks setting up on the other side of those minerals.
Can they hit the base from there?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they can.
We'll have to check. Yeah, I think that's
Just
kind of like a
looking at it.
rule that can't happen, is it?
Right. They can't be protected by
it's going to
natural...
be pretty close, but then, of course, you can always one tank on one side, another tank on another if you bring a medivac, maybe. I don't know. It's tough to say, but I'm just thinking of ways that KeeN could maybe go about bringing down Creator on a map like this, because it does seem pretty good defensively if Creator wants to go about that. Map score, though, KeeN has been doing well. He's got himself the lead, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. 2-1. It's KeeN.
And spawning in the bottom right, the blue Protoss player, it is Creator. What I'd love to see is when Scarlet took down those minerals.
Yeah.
Because remember, she had that little Baneling run by where she just had mined the middle section?
Yeah, she did.
I wonder how she did that. Maybe we need to go back and look at the replay.
She probably just sent, like, drones out, right?
Well, sure, but it's weird we missed it, because that's like, what? Just a couple? I don't know.
It was later in the game, so a lot was going on.
True.
She was on like 4 or 5 bases, then she went for that Baneling attack or whatever, so... But still, yeah, very cool.
Hey, I'm Finn in chat saying somebody actually earned a win, but he is a fan of Creator, so he'll be cheering for the Protoss here.
Creator being a pain, delaying that command center.
No! Gets it down anyway, though.
Yes, indeed. KeeN scouting out with his Reaper. Probe being a pain.
Probe continuing to be an annoyance here. Another SUV comes up a bit. Probe goes for the scout, sees the double gas, recognizes there's a factory in production. And the Reaper trying to get some stuff done here. Does hop inside the main base where depth. Alright, so the Reaper's dead.
Yeah, he's toast.
But he does get a full scout off, sees the Stargate, sees the Oracle in production there based on the shape of the warp in there. And that's all the information he needed.
No bunker on the way for KeeN just yet. And Creator could be going for one of these Adept Oracle pushes, so you gotta be careful as the Terran player to make sure that you're not too strung out in a sense, because this could just be one of those quick technical wins that Protoss can sometimes get. Like, oh, which tournament was it that someone just GG'd really quickly? I want to say it was the last Afreeca World, Marine Lord versus one of the Protoss. Petit Drogo, maybe? Don't quote me. No, Hearthstone. Marine Lord versus Hearthstone. This exact sort of build just killed him. So you got to be careful as a Terran. As those two Adepts, they're scouting those Marines. The Oracle, whereabouts is the Oracle? There is 1 and 2. The other's taking the long, long way around the map. Creator, though, in the end, playing it more passive, not going for any sort of super aggressive attack. And KeeN, playing it a little greedy here, going for that third command center. A very macro-oriented player from what we've seen today. No real cheese out of him. I mean, he went for that 1 tank push and got the first quick win. But that obviously was a great choice. And here's a question. Why is there these random rocks in the center of this map?
I was just looking at those and, like, they're glowy. That's kind of...
What's underneath those? Is it like a Xel'Naga tower or something?
Oh, you know what? The symbol on the... No, I don't know.
There was like those slow fields or whatever. Or are they just a new cool aesthetic, glowing rocks? Does anyone know? This is gonna bug me.
That's it. I'm Googling it.
See, Googling StarCraft related things is hard though.
What? It's what?
It's hard. I guess check the patch notes, because like the game has been around so long, so when you try and Google something, you'll get like some random like BattleNet forums post just that has like the same word in it from like 7 years ago. It's like, this is not what I want.
It's true, but Thunderbird is a fairly unique term in StarCraft, and it's new.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I guess if you just Google the map and look for the rock features or whatever. Creator continuously shading in with his Adepts, just trying to scout off. They make it in, but they do not want to commit that shade. They're getting great information, though. Just seeing all the barracks. No third command center has been identified just yet.
No, I can't find it.
Goody,
I don't know.
in chat that I'm not sure. Nope, I'm not sure if that pertains to it. Anyway, Oracle coming on in towards the third.
And gets picked off because Cyclones do not let you run.
They do not.
They're too fast.
Hey, I'm Finn, says BRB. I'll go check. This is a big question, guys. I feel like it's just gonna be underwhelming glowy rocks. But you never know.
And maybe it gives you more room to maneuver in fights with them. That doesn't make any sense.
That would be very specific.
It's so wide open already. I don't know.
I mean, maybe like if say you got like your bio and you run around the rocks, maybe you can hope that your opponent will like accidentally click on that or something. Who knows?
So Gudiha says it's the lights that give fog in this map.
So it's like a line of sight blocker. If you break the rocks under there, maybe?
Maybe the line of sight is restored? I don't know. Like the bushes, he says, on other maps, like the trees and stuff that prevent line of sight. So maybe you can kill the rocks and free up the sight. But like, it's such a small little area to block vision for. I don't know. It's weird.
One of life's great questions. As far as this game goes, we've got KeeN powering up on the economy once again. Just look at the supply. That's just purely from KeeN macroing like a machine. And he's been very continuous with his macros, so it's great to see that. Got some idle SCVs, might want to fix that. But for now, he's moving out because he's got a nice bit of supply. He's got a full energy Raven and lots of tanks, so he could maybe go for a very scary push on his opponent. Creator, his main source of defense versus this, is actually going to be his Warp Prism. But he needs to be very safe because this Raven can disable that Warp Prism and prevent it dropping out the High Templar.
Gonna take some interesting control there for sure.
Oh man, look at that bio though. There could be some nasty storms. Fantastic one. Hasn't killed any units, so those Marines can be healed up, but a great start there to softening up this army of KeeN. KeeN is now going to be on his toes after that, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's going to suck a ton of energy off of those medevacs too, so they won't be as nearly full of energy.
Oh, look at this Raven. Anti-armor missile goes down, hits the Zealots. Stalkers blink out of there. Nicely done.
Nice blink. Yeah, fantastic. So not as much energy on the Raven either.
There is not just yet. It's still got enough for another anti-armor missile or a couple of interference matrix. Sometimes Terrans will actually just interference matrix individual High Templar.
Wow, I haven't seen that yet. That's crazy.
Innovation has done it. Oh, look at that. Interference matrix goes down on the prism. That's so sick.
That cannon is still alive. There we go. I jinxed it as the bio kept trying to take it down and getting stormed in the process. Shield battery unpowered too.
Yeah, KeeN maybe should inch forward with his tanks a little bit or something. Creator is planning to go for a big surround, and he's actually pulling the trigger on this now.
Both directions.
KeeN's got to pull back. Engaging this army, but I feel like some of his supply was back at home still. He hasn't necessarily been rallying everything forward. Now he's got lots of Marauders getting caught by the Zealots there of his opponent, so a great engagement for Creator, who's now up on supply. Creator warping in a lot more Zealots. He's one of these guys with the killer's instinct that will just go for it if he smells blood in the water. Gotta really respect this wall that KeeN has, though. If KeeN raises the depots, he's got Liberators that he can set up in here. I'm not sure that Creator's going to be able to push on into this. Might just want to go home.
Yeah, at the very least, he's being patient about it, pulling back even further now. Ghosts in production from KeeN, I love to see that. Just the EMPs alone really are fantastic versus Protoss. +2 air weapons being researched, making the Liberators even better over time. Tempest in production to deal with said Liberators. And further upgrades on the way for everybody on both sides of the ball right now.
Friendly fire hallucination actually softens up a few of those Liberators. Nicely done.
Nice.
KeeN, he's got ghosts, so he could maybe land some nice EMPs. Liberator's moving out. KeeN wants to secure his 4th base, wants to regain the mobility on this map. A few good EMPs could just be absolutely massive for him, as there's no more High Templar in that Warp Prism. There's an EMP on the Protoss army, but it did miss 2 of the High Templar there. Creator being very careful to split those remaining Templar. And he's actually moving forward. This is very risky from Creator.
Oh, some snipes going down there. Liberator overextends just a little bit there. Liberator circles are set up, but getting picked off from distance by these Tempests.
Oh, KeeN runs forward, picks off a Tempest. Cyclones lock onto some Tempests, actually bruising them up, and picks off 1 or 2. The funny thing is about the Tempest army is that it almost seems at times that having Tempests in your army as a Protoss actually makes it weaker, because that supply that you've got invested in a unit that doesn't actually help in a head-on fight. Fantastic interference or anti-armor missile going down there. KeeN might just continue to dive forward, and he does. All those yellow units, they're in trouble. But KeeN very overstimmed, not able to take that any further, despite the fantastic anti-armor missile.
Yeah, only 1 Liberator set up here. Viking gets baited into an engagement. Doesn't want to do that. And does get picked off from distance there. Reinforcements coming in. SCVs coming in to repair too. Lock-on being used. Stalkers do manage to break that lock-on quite nicely. +3s on the way for the ground units from KeeN. Very nicely done. Okay. And more Tempest in production back home from Creator. Oh, hey, I'm Finn says there's rich gas bases above the rocks.
What?
We'll have to look at that in a minute. Going for it, though.
Yeah. Lots of Psystorm going down there. Creator, I think he might have just broken KeeN. There's still the Planetary there, but that Warp Prism warping in a ton more Zealots to help out. And KeeN, he's taken this to a bit of a base trade, but I don't know if he has enough bio on Creator's side of the map to make it an actual base trade or not. And as a result, this Protoss army in this base is looking very, very scary. Medivacs getting picked off. EMPs going down on these Zealots to try and soften them up, but it's still just so much Protoss spilling into the main base of KeeN. And it might just be a bit of a checkmate situation. There we are, 2-2, GG. We're going to return to game and just check. Or did we? Oh, we completely missed that. Oh, I see. But those rocks aren't going to stop you from building there. So why are the rocks there? Because, like, I see that there's the rich gas there.
Yeah.
But what do those rocks still do? They're not really in the way, are they? You could totally put a CC there. Oh, well. Okie dokie, let's get into the next game. Map 5, King's Cove. And we are having ourselves a very close series here.
Yeah, tied up after 4 games is always kind of where you want to be with the best of 7. Feels like it's anybody's match for sure right now. Just watching the stream and trying to figure out, yeah. So the rocks are adjacent to those bases, but
doesn't make sense. I'm sure we're totally just missing something.
Oh, okay. So, Hey, I'm Finn says if you kill the rocks, it creates a fog thing you can hide units in.
And that's it.
But I mean, so? Like, I don't see how that really helps in most situations. That's weird.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, both players are ready from the scheme of things, so we're just going to jump into it. Yeah, that's interesting. It's just a use of rocks for whatever reason. Because, like, those are, like, high-health rocks. So it's not like your Reaper is going to kill those rocks and then hide in it on the map. So maybe if they made the rocks, like, low health? Oh, well.
It's a mystery. I can't figure it out.
Blizzard really wanted people to be creative with these maps. Anyway, the map we're on now is a little bit more standard. It's been around a while. It's King's Cove, and spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map just tied it up 2-2. It's Creator.
And in the bottom right, it's KeeN.
I want to see KeeN go for, like, at least one cheese. But if he's just been practicing macro, I guess maybe he's making the right call, just going for the macro like he has, because That game was looking pretty good for him there, but then he ate a lot of nasty Psy Storms. And I guess he just ran out of, or was just too far out on the map or something there. Because Creator turned that one around pretty quick. And even Creator's a little scared of the cheese, really scouting out.
Hey, the double probes heading on back in. Reaper on the way. Now is the perfect time for KeeN to bust out his mech build. Let's do it. Creator will never expect it.
I mean, maybe not.
But the problem is he'll scout it, so...
He will. Creator's just been too straight up, it would seem, some of these games. Because KeeN, he got his first map win with his little cheeky build there.
Yeah, by killing the Observer.
What was his second win?
Long macro one, where it's just the Liberator set up at the front door.
Versus the Disruptors.
Yeah.
That was off, I guess, the early Marauder Concussive Shell, though. I love the build that we're seeing out of KeeN now, though. This is sort of like a more popular bit of harassment lately, as basically, this is a Terran bully build. Right now, what we're seeing is, the Terran's going to be moving across the map with a Reaper and 2 Hellions, and then a Marauder or 2. And basically the Marauder and the Marine are going to bully the Stalker and Adept back, and then the 2 Hellions and Reaper are going to run on in. And this is actually a really cool build to see come out. It's so technical. Really, it's intended for if a Protoss is walled on the low ground. I've never seen it versus a Phoenix opener, so this is going to be curious to see how it's going to play out. For now, the Adept's going to take a bit of a beating. Can Creator shut everything down? The Hellions and Reaper are going to run on in. Probes are being pulled. The Phoenix choose to lift the Hellion to shut this down. A few probes are going to go down. Marauders chasing the Stalker, but so far looks pretty good as far as the defense goes.
Yeah, it looks like it's held expertly there. 3 probes go down, but that's definitely acceptable losses here.
Yeah, I've never seen that build go up against a Stargate. So that seems to be pretty darn helpful with lifting the Hellions there. Nicely done by Creator. He lost, what, 3 probes? Definitely an effective defense. The Widowmine just missed the Adepts there. Gonna opt to run on into the natural, it would seem. The Stalker's gonna try and stop him from burrowing.
And can't quite do it. 1 probe is deemed the sacrificial... Well, actually, unburn.
I love the unburn. But Widowmine does get picked off there. Oh, this is unfortunate. That Banshee getting found by these Phoenix.
And she's like, please, energy, hold up forever. Forever.
Immediately we see an Observer on the way. Oh, there is a Banshee across the map, pardon me, though. Pardon my observing skills there. She's actually going to find herself a fair few kills. Picks off 6 probes in total.
Does go down problematically, but yeah, that's definitely worth it in that case. And by golly, it is going to be Cyclones, Magfield Accelerator here. Is KeeN going to do it?
He's following this up with Barracks, though. He's got a third done.
Yeah, that's right. So it's just going to be the Cyclones for just a couple Couple scenarios here, but
Actually
definitely not going to
canceled
be.
the mag field.
Ah, interesting.
Fires up a tank.
Very interesting.
But then he's still making Banshees, so could this be one of those, like, bio tank pushes, maybe? Or no, he is going to be swapping over that barracks, starting stim, so probably no super odd timing push, because, I mean, we have seen those, say, Banshee Marine tank pushes. Not going to be the case, though, this game.
Nope, looks a lot more standard than that today. Colossus on the way now from the Creator, the first one of the day. Third base landing here for the Terran player. We're going to own Combat Shield and +1 in stim and all the things you want for your Marines and your Marauders. Extended Thermal Lance getting started a little bit earlier this time from Creator. Should help him versus these Marines and Marauders especially, but the tank count gets too high. It can be pretty difficult to set up. We'll see.
That was a good
how that
scan
works.
from KeeN to shut down that observer. Meanwhile, the two Banshees are going to be moving towards the Protoss third base. Two Banshees is fantastic, as a shield battery can't defend versus them. So we'll see. Does KeeN pre-cloak? Pre-cloaking before this Phoenix spots him would have been huge, but he cloaks the Phoenix. Technically would have spotted those, I think, but no, in goes the Banshees. These could pop off a fair few workers. It's actually a cannon, not a shield battery there, pardon me, but these Banshees still going to find themselves a nice amount of probes, 6 in total, getting some value now heading towards the main base, which there's only a shield battery. An Observer and the Phoenix really need to get back here. There's the Phoenix. Where's the Observer? Not quite in position just yet.
There we go.
Oh, massive damage getting done. 16 probes in total.
Yeah, Creator is in trouble. 3 base to 3 base. He's down in workers. He's down in army supply. He's trying to get his Colossus up and running. I think he needs to make something happen here, whether it's some aggression of his own, some harassment, taking down a base. But KeeN is the one who's going to be pushing the issue here, heading out across the map, at least temporarily. He's in position to head out. Maybe he's waiting for more units to join him.
Tanks in his medivacs. A lot of tanks in medivacs, actually. 2 full medivacs of tanks there. And I guess that's just a way to get him across the maps. Another scan to snipe off that Observer. That is fantastic for the Terran player. Just shutting down those Protoss Observers before they really get that sense of safety and just security from slowly building up that sort of defense and map vision. And now this is just going to be a tough push for Creator to stop. The tanks are going to be getting sieged up. Some on the low ground, some on this ramp. And while there's 3 Colossus here, is it enough? I don't know. This is a lot of tanks.
It is a lot of tanks, and they are kind of the problem.
The Phoenix can
Come
lift
over,
all the tanks, though. Oh my god, that is beautiful there.
Well, one of them does manage to drop there. 2 of them end up dropping there too, but they're not focusing on the Colossus like to the perhaps cleaning up with that extended thermal lance. Wow, this is going much better Creator than I thought it would.
Yeah.
That said, still a scary amount of bio back behind that natural.
Yeah, a bit of a miracle hold there for Creator, doing everything he needed to. That being said, he's still not in a great spot, still down on workers, significantly down on supply, but his standing army is pretty good. He's got that going for him. KeeN just trading out before everything gets cleaned up, and here comes in the reinforcements, or I guess the round 2 attack. So far, Creator holding on though.
One of my subscribers, Key, shows up, says, I bet those rocks are on Thunderbird just to make people question their own sanity.
It's working. It's at least making casters question their own sanity. Like, maybe that's exactly what it was intended for. Because on a ladder game, I'm not going to question those random rocks in the middle of the map. I ain't got time for that.
No, there's too much to worry about, yeah.
But when casting, you sure bet I'm going to scratch my head over that. KeeN, a small Marine squad just moving down here, and then a scan to check for observers. So going to be looking to hit his opponent in multiple locations. Going to find the 4th base attempt from Creator. Creator investing in this already. The Marines snipe off the probe, then run away just to be a pain there.
I don't know if they had to run away that soon, but hey, better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I love KeeN's willingness to macro in these games. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he's willing to say, I will go into the late game against... Be afraid.
look at this. Beautiful. Just changing angle with these medivacs. Maybe going to go for the main base as he's pulling his opponent's attention away. There's High Templar in this Prism, though. And this is really what got Creator that previous map, those great Psy Storms. +2 going to be done for KeeN. Having an upgrade lead is going to be very nice for him, but the AoE and the AoE in the form of the High Templar and the Disruptors will help negate that.
Couple Zealots caught on the wrong side of the field here. Nice job picking off the Observer.
That's another one. How many Observers have died this game? 4. That's pretty good. As far as this game goes, though, things really have stabilized for Creator. He's brought his worker count back up. He's got that very solid Protoss army, which really can be what brings you back into games. It's definitely a mechanic for Protoss, just having the nice AoE, which can force Terran to make missteps. Of course, KeeN, he's still got a very nice amount of army supply. He's starting to build up a bank, get up extra tech and everything. But Creator does have that standing army that you need as a Protoss in order to hold on in situations like this. And he's just been playing very defensively like he needs to. Beautiful probe and pylon placement. Going to spot this drop. Forcing KeeN to cancel that plan.
Yep, that's what those pylons are for. That probe is up here.
Look at that, too. It's like, oh, gotta unload again.
Unloading way more than he needed to do, but that's okay. This poor Marine, there's no room in the inn.
Oh, look at this. This is cool. Is it going to work? I'm not too sure. KeeN looking to hit his opponent in multiple spots. Going to retreat down the center corridor there, as the majority of his army is in other locations. Liberators with advanced ballistics getting set up, though. Going to give those stalkers a world of hurt. Actually lock down the mining on the natural base of his opponent. Meanwhile, KeeN, he's just going to be unloading at the third, unloading in the main base, really trying to pull his opponent apart. Cancels +2 armor, which is a massive win. And then the third base just in trouble, but Psy Storms are going to help clean up this bio. KeeN, look at that. Loads up into the medivacs, keeping some of this army alive. The Marauders are holding on a very nice amount of time. That's definitely the +2 armor coming into effect. A Dark Shrine has been spotted. KeeN might actually be able to kill that off. Just getting something for his bio there. In the end, that wasn't a kill move for KeeN. That was just an attack in a sense. He hit his opponent in multiple locations, got some nice economic damage done. But Creator holds on, and the army supply is evened up.
Yeah, feels pretty even right now, honestly. Worker supply, army supply, overall, bases we're running on. It makes sense considering the fact this is a 2-2 best-of-7 right now, that Game 5 would be pretty even going into the 15-minute mark. Both players have taken their lumps and done some damage, but nobody's really ahead right now.
+3 attack did just finish for KeeN, and the fact that he denied his opponent's armor is actually going to make his units very, very powerful versus the army of Creator until that +2 armor gets started once again. So KeeN going to be enjoying himself a healthy upgrade lead, even getting his ship weapons on the way as he is taking this late game. Like, a sign of Terran's willing to take the game late is the fact that he's building 3 orbital commands right now. Tanks have been rebuilt for KeeN, so he's got a very nice count for that. Actually counters Disruptors and Colossus if you get a right engagement. Zones out High Templar too, so KeeN playing this game pretty well. Of course, he hasn't been able to kill Creator yet after that nice bit of damage he got done, but oh, look at this. You got to be careful if you're KeeN. That Disruptor, Nova goes out. Good dodge, though, and that Disruptor just forfeited his life in the quest for a great hit, but it didn't happen.
Yep, no damage done whatsoever there. Tanks setting up in siege mode within range. I'm not sure if they're in... Let's see if they have one more shot in them. Oh, they're just out of range on that Nexus, but the Bio's doing a great job taking it down. Revelation toss down. Nexus is out. Thank you for playing, but you are completely dead at this point. Colossus trying to burn up as much of this Bio as they can. The Vikings ready to snipe down those Colossus if they're allowed to do so. And check this action out. It's Yamato on the way for the Terran player. A battlecruiser transition at 17 minutes would be incredible.
That would be fantastic. For now, KeeN, though, just really enjoying his better economy. That's what allowed him to have so much stuff that he just rolled in and knocked Creator down to 4 bases. While KeeN, the greedy Terran himself, is just going up to so many. He's got command centers for days. He's just getting up more and more bases, so he's definitely winning the economy for now. And he's just using his set of units so well for the time being.
Man, Liberator's just massacring anything that gets it too close here. Coming on in, using the Vikings to snipe down those Colossus. One down, Tempest.
Oh, fantastic trades for KeeN, and this is definitely his ship upgrades that are really helping him out here. His Vikings are just picking off the Colossus disruption. Novas are going out, but no, that's it. KeeN, 3-2 lead.
Yeah, there was no coming back from that at all. That was beautifully controlled there by KeeN. The Vikings doing serious amounts of work there, taking down Colossus, taking down Tempest, doing what they need to do. The Liberators pretty much unopposed at that stage. And then Creator kind of going for it, but just so outnumbered overall. And just so outpositioned in the upgrades and everything just really came down to a fantastic Terran win. So Terran fans, like, take some solace here. You can beat Protoss players in the late game. You don't have to resort to these 2 base all-ins.
Yeah.
It's doable.
I wouldn't say that that was like the full-on late game because KeeN had a lead there. But you can definitely macro up as Terrans, and I think Terrans are all starting to realize that a little bit more. Like, it's not a death sentence throwing down that 4th base as some Terrans would have had you believe in the past.
Yeah, you've got the tools. You just have to know how to use them. Creator throwing out the GG in the lobby. Good to see that good manner coming out of him. And here we go, moving on to Kairos Junction for the next map in our best of 7 series. A 3-2 lead here for the Terran player. He just needs to win one more game to be the ultimate victor here in Africa World 38. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have everybody around. Trying to read chat as we can. I know there's a lot of Korean in there, probably some Chinese as well, but English pops up every once in a while, and we'll do our best to read those as they come across and respond.
Okay, here we are. The map is Kairos Junction, as you said, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It's Jenner Greenwing's Creator.
And in the bottom right, it is Mr. KeeN with the Carbot animation spinning logo, which I love so much.
The Derp Fester.
It's even the Derp Fester, like, derping Hellion. You'd think a Terran player would choose something else, but he just likes the Derp Fester too much. I know I do, but I'm Zerg. I just figure it's just because I'm biased.
Let's see, who's gonna take this? Do you think KeeN's gonna close it out this map?
Adjusted prognostication, yes. I'm gonna say KeeN's gonna get it done here. Go to too scary. It's too volatile. He'd rather just finish it up now and take home the cash.
I think we're going to a game 7, man. I think Creator's taking us to that final match. I may be tired, but I want it too. Let's see it. Gateway expand. Creator going for that anti-Reaper wall-off as well. Reaper are going to be moving across the map for KeeN. both these guys have been very, very consistent in their scouting. And it just goes to show that you can be a very high-level pro gamer and scout. So do it, guys. There's your PSA.
Seriously, there's no reason not to scout. If you know what's coming, it's so much easier to hold.
Yeah. You know why we've been having such flushed out long games between all these guys? Because none of them have been dying to shenanigans. Oh. Creator just waiting for his Nexus to finish up before he sends those probes down.
I mean, game one, the Creator did get caught by surprise, but he was trying to scout.
He
just lost his observer.
KeeN just said no scouting for you.
Yeah.
The Reaper, very sad as he can't get into the main base of the Protoss. He has one job. Or I guess two. Maybe kill a probe, but... Hellions and Marauders on the way once again for KeeN, so he's actually going to be going for this push. He sees the 2 Adepts moving out on the map, but Creator not committing to that. KeeN maybe was hoping for that, as he could definitely take those on with this Marauder and Hellion. Interesting choice, though. KeeN deciding to pull back, not actually committing to this build.
And that's something that really separates players that are of this caliber and players that are our caliber.
Absolutely.
Right? Knowing when to pull back. Just if you see that your army, the other army is bigger or has a better just pull back. You don't need to lose your army just because of circumstances like that, especially if you're attacking.
Yeah, and maybe that extra Marauder and Marine will come in handy for KeeN later on. He's got a Cyclone at his natural, but we'll see if this Oracle is still able to get anything done. Looks like it's going to find itself one SCV and then immediately turns around. Gets bruised up a tiny bit, but thanks to Creator's quick reaction, he makes it out of there alive. And we are seeing Magfield Accelerator this time on the way for KeeN. We'll see if he completes this or cancels it. But this could always be like a Cyclone Viking push or something like that. I'd like to see it. I want to see KeeN just go for it.
Me too. Let's wrap this thing up, man.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's like these Hellions. Actually, did the Hellions just kill 2 Adepts? Or they just killed 1 Adept? Nicely done there. Meanwhile, these other 2 Adepts are hanging out at the 3rd base. They're gonna not get up that ramp. They will, so they will spot that Magfield Accelerator. The Cyclone, though, locks onto one of the Adepts. The Viking actually finding an Oracle. This is a very nice find for KeeN if he targets that injured one.
Oh, got it.
Fantastic find there. Losing an Oracle at this stage in the game definitely hurts the Protoss player. And now KeeN's actually moving across the map with his Cyclones, with his Vikings. Locking onto this Protoss army, that shield battery.
Shield battery instantly out of energy there, it feels like. Stalker's trying to fight Oracles, trying to pick off 2, but the Viking count is too high right now. Cyclone's using that lock on. Ooh, one Cyclone does get picked off, but Stalkers are going down here too. Vikings landing that bonus damage really coming into play right now, but it looks like Creator might barely be able to hold this. There's so much low health stuff here. There's not much left there for KeeN to wrap this up, but he's going to kill some of these probes. Force them to flee at the very least. Wow, every single one goes down. That's brutal.
Reinforcements coming in for KeeN might just be enough to secure a kill on this Nexus. Magfield Accelerator was actually canceled once again, by the way, for KeeN. So,
I don't know why. He could have used it in that battle for sure.
Yeah, I guess he's just focusing on his bio transition or something, but he could get this Nexus regardless. The Vikings and the Cyclone and the Marauder that he actually kept alive at the start of the game. We mentioned this, guys. He could have just thrown that away, but he didn't. Really helped out in this push. And now the 3rd base of Creator is gone, and KeeN has found himself in a fantastic position.
Yeah, his 3rd base is complete now. He's happily able to saturate it here, no problem. 3rd base is coming up a little bit outside of his own main here from Creator, so he's going to have that sooner rather than later. But he's behind. He's economically behind here, and that's not where you want to be versus a Terran.
Yeah. Economically behind and also behind in his tech as well. Like, normally we'd be like, okay, well, the Protoss is at least coming into something, but he's not. He doesn't have Colossus on the way. He doesn't have a Templar Archives for Psystorm or anything. He is just going into +1 and Blink. He's going to be having 8 gates, so he might just go for an all-in and try and kill KeeN. maybe that's his best option because the stim pack is 90 seconds out for KeeN, but KeeN, he's still going to have a lot of bio bulk. He's going to have his 1-1 upgrades on the way, and he's also producing tanks, which is so critical to defending something like this.
Yeah, the tanks are a huge part of getting the win versus the Protoss here, unless they go Sky Toss, which earn it. So in that case, tanks. Tanks are good. Immortals are good. Tanks are good.
This Marine too. It's going to spot this attack coming in.
Gives his life, but radios back to headquarters. They're over here.
Yep, he did his final job, that Marine. And now KeeN knows that he just needs to hold. He's got this tank, and Creator, is he just going to back off or what? Yeah, he throws up a robo now, but that is not a good time for a Protoss player.
He can't go up the ramp, though. There's no way. Maybe if they were protecting it, but KeeN scouted it, saw it coming, called it good.
Yeah, I guess Creator making the best of a bad situation. He's got nothing else going for him at all, so you're right. What else are you to do? But it's kind of the damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I think the best thing for Creator to do, and that's exactly what he is doing right now, is trying to get up a Templar Archives, because you need some sort of comeback mechanic, and that very well could be Psystorm, because in a head-on fight with this Terran army, you are going to get massacred. But KeeN, I don't know if he's going to give Creator the time of day.
Yeah, he's making a beeline for that third base right now. There's a hallucination. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta give it to him for trying. I mean, KeeN does scan it. He's like, yep, that ain't real. And I got stim now, so my tanks are gonna kill you, and I win 4-2.
Yeah, that's it. The Stalker's trying to do what they can against these tanks, but too many Marauders remaining, too many Marines here, too. Reinforcements coming in. GG KeeN.
It was a 4-2, but the opposite way that I expected.
Yeah, both of us were extremely wrong.
Mm-hmm. Pecking Creator.
KeeN giving hope to Terrans everywhere, man, especially after some recent GS. Holy cow.
Yeah, he just won his 3rd Afreeca World Invitational. Nicely done.
Nicely done.
Another one of those.
Yeah, not many players can say they've won 3 of these. Some heavy competition.
Yeah, joining Parting and Petit Drogo up at 3.
Nice.
And then there's a Laser and Solar who both have 6.
Right.
Of course. Those Reigns of Terror, never forget, but we usually do invite the winner to the next one of these events, so thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. Make sure to follow Falcon Paladin and I on Twitter and YouTube, particularly our Twitters, as we do tweet out about the next event that's coming out. And, for example, in 2 weeks when KeeN's probably going to be coming back in one of these events.
Yeah, come root for your Terran to get his repeat, get 4 wins in the Afreeca World. Try to get close to that mythical 6-win total that only Zergs have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. It's been a great event. Having everyone for tuning on in. Yeah, great players, great games. Do you have anything else to add?
I'm just glad my voice held up throughout this entire thing.
Falcon Paladin is a trooper, guys, for coming out and casting despite having such a bad voice, such a sore voice.
Mm-hmm. It's leaving, but I'm gonna go rest now, and hopefully it'll be better tomorrow.
Get some sleep, get some rest. No more casting for you.
No, definitely not.
You were also casting this morning as well, right? So.
A little bit.
What a passion, guys.
Indeed.
Okay. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. We shall see you next time, and bye-bye.
Bye.